There's going to be a car race, and I've got some cars here numbered 1 to 12. I've also got 2 dice in my hand. Each time I throw the dice, I'm going to add together the total and move that numbered car forwards 1 space. Which car is most likely to win the race, and which car will definitely lose? Try it for yourself. So let's start throwing the dice and see which car is going to win. And the winning car is number 7. In fact, number 7 is always the most likely car to win. But can you tell me the reason why? So why does the number 7 come up the most often when you throw the 2 dice? Let's look at all the possible combinations you can get of numbers when you throw the 2 dice. There's a 1 and a 1, that makes 2. You can get a 1 and a 2, and that makes 3. You can get the 1 and the 3, and that equals 4. So 6 and 6 makes 12. So you can see from all of our possible combinations, 7 is the most popular. It comes up most. That must mean 7 is always going to be the winner. And number 1 is never going to get off the starting line because it's impossible to throw 1 with 2 dice. I want to work out the height of this pile of cars, and all I've got is a meter ruler to help me. I can't measure this far upwards, but I can do this. I'll stick the stick here, and then with my eye as close to the ground as possible, I'll line up the top of the ruler with the top of the pile of cars. So we've got something like this. Here is the ground I was lying on. This is the pile of cars. This is my meter ruler, and this is my eye. This is my line of vision. Top of the ruler to the top of the pile of cars. If I start measuring from where my eye was positioned at this marker here to where the ruler was sticking up from, that is 1 meter, exactly 1.5 meters, 2 meters, 3 meters, and that's 4 meters 50. That's 1.5 meters here and 4.5 meters along this whole line here. And the meter rule is 1 meter high. So now that I've got all of my measurements, how can I work out the height of my pile of cars? So let's work it out. The distance from my eye to the meter rule is 1.5 meters long. The distance from my eye to the pile of cars is 4.5 meters long. That is 3 times as long. Now, if we know the metre rule is 1 metre high, that must mean the height of my pile of cars must be 3 times that height, and that means the total height is 3 metres. I've got a selection of different wheels here with different patterns. What order of rotational symmetry do they each have? That is, if I turn the wheel around once, how many different positions will they look the same? If I start to turn this wheel around once, there are 5 different positions that look the same. In other words, this wheel has got an order of rotational symmetry of 5. If I start to turn this one around, it has got 7 positions that look exactly the same. In other words, this wheel has got an order of rotational symmetry of 7. Now here's one for you. What order of rotational symmetry does this have? Okay, here's a problem involving numbers. How can you work out 97 squared without using a calculator? So we can multiply 97 by itself, 97. We're going to get the correct answer this way, but without a calculator, it's pretty hard work. Let's think about 97 in terms of a square. And here I've got 97 multiplied by 97. Now, as we know, 97 is 3 away from 100. So let's take our 100 square, 100 multiplied by 100. We've got an extra 3 this side, 97 plus 3 is 100, and we've got an extra 3 down this side because 97 plus 3 is 100. Now, as we know, 100 multiplied by 100 is 10,000. But 10,000 is not our correct answer. We need to see how much extra we need to take off. Here along this column here, we have got 3 multiplied by 100, and that is 300. So I'm going to subtract 300 from my 10,000. That's going to give me an answer of 9,700. But once again, this is not the final answer. We've got some space down here, which we had to subtract as well. So I've just shaded another 300 down there, 3 multiplied by 100. Now, that means I'm going to have to subtract 300 from my 9,700. And that is going to give me a total of 9,400. Once again, this is not our final answer because we've got to add back this little section here, which we have counted twice. And this section here represents 3 multiplied by 3, which is 9. If I add 9 to my final total, I'm going to get an answer of 9,409. And this method works with any 2-digit number. I want to find out how far forwards this big tyre can move when it goes around once. And I've only got this metre rule and this piece of string to work it out. And I can't move the tyre. Here we have a smaller wheel. If I roll this wheel around once so that the marker at the bottom comes round to the bottom again, the distance the wheel has moved is the same distance as around the outside of the tyre, and that is its circumference. So, to find out how far forwards this large tyre can move, I need to work out its circumference, but I've only got this straight stick and this string, which is too short. Maybe these smaller circles, which I can measure, will help. Now this coin is 2 centimetres across. When I put the string around it, the string measures 6 and a bit centimetres. That is 3 times as big. But that's too small to be accurate. Let's look at something a little bit larger. This gear wheel measures 12 centimetres across. If I wrap this piece of string around the outside of the gear wheel and measure the length, it is about 37 and a bit long. That is also 3 times as much. This brake disc measures 24 centimetres across. Once again, when I measure and put the string around, the length of the string is 74.5 centimetres long. Once again, 3 times as much. In fact, for all circles, the distance around the outside is always going to be 3.14 times bigger than the distance across the circle. Using this information, how can we find out how far around this tyre is? Although I can't measure the distance around the outside of my tyre, I can measure the distance across the tyre. That's 75 centimetres across the tyre. That means the distance all around the tyre must be 75 centimetres multiplied by 3.14. And the answer is 235.5 centimetres. That's 2 metres and 35.5 centimetres. Which is how far forward the tyre will move in one complete turn.